welcome to the first episode of the HMG podcast. We have not settled, I think, directly on a name yet, so we're going to call it the HMG podcast.
I think HMG podcast makes the most sense for us.
You think so?
Yes.
Just right off the bat?
Yeah.
Nothing cool?
It's not cool about the HMG podcast.
I guess it's cool.
You came up with this name.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so I'm Rob. Welcome to the HMG podcast. This is my co-host and creative director here at HMG, Dalton J. Bradley.
Hi, guys.
Here we're going to be kind of talking just one about content. We're going to be talking about the digital media space kind of in general. I would like for us to react to some stuff, kind of talk about what inspires us, talk about some of the cool things that we see going on just in media in general. And then also, I love business. You like helping people. You like helping people's businesses with the media we produce. So I think talking about we could talk about anything really. So
cool.
We're excited to kind of get this thing rocking and rolling. This set is a work in progress, but that's the key. Is it's a work in progress, and we're doing it. So we could.
You all are in the HMG lab right now.
Correct.
This is where the magic happens.
Yes, this is where it happens. I don't know, this is like a magic shop, right?
It really is. We go out to your business, film for a few hours, and then we come back here, and within a couple weeks, you've got probably a dozen videos.
Oh yeah, you've got high quality content that will last you to where you can post it consistently for
at least a month at a time.
Yeah,
at the very least a month at a time.
Yeah, and we're getting more and more efficient to where that span is longer and longer with each client that we get and work with and just really get the kinks out. But yeah, it's like that 50 Cent song. This is the magic shop, right? I'll take you to the magic shop.
Stop it. We're not doing this. We're not playing this game. You know good and well it's Candy Shop.
Yeah.
You know good and well it's Candy Shop.
You're blowing my mind right now. But yeah, cool. So we kind of already we briefly touched on what we do here. But first I kind of, I was thinking about how to roll into what we do. And I think first it's important to establish how important media is in today's world. How important high quality, consistent media is in today's world. In your opinion, what maybe sets people apart that can work with us, or what role does high quality, consistent media play in today's marketplace?
It's everything. It's everything. We talk about this pretty regularly, that we like to compare businesses as Six Flags versus Disney World. And so whenever you look at most of our clientele is salons. And so whenever you look at a salon, if you don't go very frequently, I clearly don't, then, you may end up just settling for a Six Flags, which is a quality place. Still, you can go to Six Flags and have a good time, have a good experience, ride some rides, and it's cool. You go home after. But for those who are more into researching places and are really serious about, their hair, their makeup, or, whatever the case may be that you're going to a salon, for example, right? Then you're going to want to go to Disney World, because whenever you go to Disney World, you don't just go for a day and then go home. It's not just a day trip. When you go to Disney World, you and your family went to Disney World this summer. Yeah. You guys were there a week. You go see everything. You get a hotel. You live there in the atmosphere, in the world for a full week. And I think that's how we like to compare places that utilize new media, film and video, compared to places that don't. Places that don't could still be doing a great and excellent job with their business, just like Six Flags. There's nothing wrong with Six Flags. But you don't take your kids to Six Flags for the week. You take your kids to Disney World for the week. And what really makes that happen is the created just universe around it. And that's what we like to do with film, video, and all kinds of just media production, is we like to take places that are a Six Flags to a Disney World. So we'll come in and we highlight your staff, we highlight your procedures, we highlight the products that you sell, all of your services and things like that, so that before a client even steps in, they feel like they know you, they know your culture, they know your space, they know that they're going to have a good experience here. They may already even know the stylist without even meeting them, Yeah. And so I feel like it's just a huge game changer, and it's a huge step up in the competition by having an online presence.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, everybody has one of these in their pocket.
Yeah.
Everyone has one. And so most places, the farthest that their media and things like that go, their content goes, is just iPhone videos. You know, pictures, things like that, which, I mean, the iPhone takes incredible pictures, incredible video. I mean, you got the iPhone 12. That thing is magic.
Big, though.
Yeah, it's huge. I'm stuck with the iPhone 10 for now. But everyone kind of has that.
Yeah.
And so, sure, you can have the newest iPhone and take incredible pictures or make incredible videos, or at least capture incredible videos. But without that extra step of editing, without that extra depth of field in a nice camera, without that extra quality of sound, because that's the biggest thing that I've learned over just the years of doing video, is you can have kind of a piece of crap camera, but if your sound sucks, nobody can stand to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody
Yes.
can stand it. Like, I'm sure everybody has watched a YouTube video that has atrocious sound, and you're one of two people. You're either like, well, I really need to learn how to fix this washer and dryer, and I'm just going to have to deal with this video. Or you're like, no, click off. Let's go find one that I can actually stand to listen to.
I'd rather read about it on Wikipedia. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so the iPhone, I mean, while it's great, it's not mic'd up directly. It's not a boom mic. It's not, a parabolic. It doesn't have that same spatial sound that you can get with professional audio.
Well, and it's kind of like you said. So from the beginning with HMG and with the business and looking the direction we want to head, it's all about, separating you from the rest of the crowd, because you are working at doing that every single day with the work you're doing. You're already most of the time walking the walk. Now you just got to talk the talk.
Yeah.
So that's what we do, is we come in and provide the same quality of content to match the quality of service you're bringing to your customers. And that's kind of where we're living right now, which is fantastic, because in a weird way, you're almost doing yourself a disservice by thinking you can do this on your own. And so when you go out there and at first, going into the marketplace and kind of talking about what we provide, it was kind of like intimidating, because it's like, well, everybody has a phone, so they could all make their own video. They could all take their own pictures if they want to. But then I shortly realized the more that happens, the better it is for us and the clients that we work with, because it's just adding more and more coals to the rough, and it makes those diamonds pop out that much more.
Yeah.
So like for every one person or every 10 places that has kind of run-of-the-mill media where they're taking it with their phone, where they're taking it, putting it together in some free app on your phone, like that makes, the more people that do that and the more people are exposed to that, it makes the people that we work with stand out that much more.
Yeah.
So at first I was kind of like, oh man, I wish, it's like kind of stinks that everybody's putting out all this content, but then I'm like, no, it makes our stuff look even better.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what's really cool. And the cool thing is like the people that we work with, they see it, and then the really important thing is their clients see it.
Yeah.
And my whole goal is, and our whole goal is to have a clear difference between the people that we work with and those who we just haven't got to work with yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I like the way you put that.
Yes, yeah. So then, and then you got, when the client comes in, they're like, wow, that was just next level.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is now with all the stuff that we're implementing in not only just producing the media, but implementing that media into their sales and customer engagement processes.
In the store.
At home, we have so many cool new ways, and we'll get into that in a minute, of implementing the media. It's really cool to see customers be able to engage with the brands that they already love, and local brands, a lot right now.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is it's all local brands.
Yeah, it's local brands, and they're able to engage in a way that only they were able to engage with these large corporations before.
Yeah.
Because nobody else had the capital or whatever to put the time and effort in, that we just take that on ourselves. You do your thing, we're just going to highlight you, and we're going to implement this into the sales process.
Yeah.
So that's been really cool to see.
Well, so as far as going back to people editing stuff on their phones, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, you can use clips, but you can't put motion graphics that are branded and customized to your brand on clips. You can subtitle it on there. They don't look great, but you can get them. Mm-hmm. Whereas we could shoot it on a phone and shoot it on the same phone as a competitor, and we'll get a better product because we have access and we have knowledge of the Adobe suite, DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut, all that kind of stuff that we can build and create anything that just resembles your brand image and have that reflect into the content that you post to where your brand isn't just shot on iPhone 12.
Correct. Yes. And that's that's the thing is all of the people that we work with and people that we have not had the pleasure to work with yet, like, everybody kind of, they're all like working so hard on their brand, and they're working on bringing true value to their customers. And you almost, you can sell yourself short by not bringing that same quality to them on your media and interacting with them in general. So with what we're doing is we're just rounding that out, instead of, they get to experience the same quality, so we work a lot with salons. They're experiencing the same quality at home and on their phone and on the iPad as they would in the chair.
Yeah,
it's all about just bringing that quality all the way around. And so it's been really cool to see. But I kind of wanted to round out, kind of like, this is the first episode, so I kind of wanted to round out into us, right?
Okay.
I'm curious, and I kind of know, but I'm sure a lot of other people want to know, like, what was your journey into media production and stuff like that?
It goes back to whenever I was like 12. That I started, well, even before then, my first experience like with a camera where I knew like I'm good at this and I like this is I went to church camp whenever I was in like elementary school. And at the time, I hated camp. I thought it was terrible. I did not have a good time. But I took a bunch of pictures on this little piece of crap Kodak that, I mean, at the time it was probably decent, but now is no. And I took some cool pictures, shot some cool little videos, and my parents thought they were cool. And so I played with that for a little while and then just kind of like grew out of it. But then I got really into like video games throughout middle school. And so I remember like looking up like Call of Duty tutorials and stuff like that. And like that just opened my eyes to this whole world of content creators out there. And this is like 2010, 2011. So, YouTube was still kind of in like a weird space where some people could make money, some people couldn't. And so for the most part, it was just people who loved to creating. And I don't know what exactly it was about that I thought that's just so cool. And so I started like just finding ways to record little like sniper clips and stuff and editing them into like montages kind of thing. And that's how I got really into editing. And so like before I was really good at filming or shooting or anything like that, I tried to teach myself editing because I was like, well, if I shoot something, nobody's going to edit it for me. And I kind of want to know what I'm doing if I'm going to get to that point.
Yeah.
So I got like a little camera whenever I was 14, I believe. It was a little Canon Vixia like camcorder. And I mostly did like school projects and stuff like that with it, and like applied that editing knowledge that I got from playing video games and making little sniper montages and things like that, just of like Call of Duty clips.
Yeah.
And I took that knowledge and applied it to making videos for the AVP class that I was in, or one of my English classes. We could do like a do anything you want kind of presentation my sophomore year of high school. And so I made a little like video about, I think it was, I don't even remember which book. I didn't read the book.
You watched the movie?
No, I didn't watch the movie. I didn't even read the Spark Notes. I read like a blurb about it and just made like a quick trailer for it and called it good.
Yeah.
And called it good. And I think I got like a 75 on it because
it's not bad for not reading the book, honestly.
Yeah, right. I mean,
yeah.
But
risk versus reward there. I think you came out.
Yeah, I passed.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
But then so my junior year of high school, I was the head editor of the film production like club, and I think I was the youngest head editor that the program had at the time. Most of the time you were a senior if you were going to be the head editor. But so I got that, and I got really big headed. Like I set up a desk in the back of the studio size classroom that we had. That it was like two desks that I wedged together with an L.
Megadesk.
It really was. No, I set up mega desk, and like nobody was allowed back there. I would just get tapped in, and I would just tell people like go away, like I'm working kind of thing.
Wow.
And no, I got super big headed. It was super bad. And I ended up quitting that class on bad terms. I had some choice words for a handful of people, and
they didn't respect Megadesk.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly about Megadesk, but it was more so like a bunch of kids in the class or in the club like didn't know how to edit or do anything, and we did like weekly packages for the administration. Yeah. And so it would come down that they would just give me raw files for their segment of the packages. And I'm like, you didn't do anything. You just went out and shot it. Like, put it together, give it to me. I'll put the whole thing together and correct your mistakes.
So they weren't pulling. It wasn't even that they were not pulling any weight. They just weren't putting any effort.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I could definitely see like somebody being like, I mean, that's why I'm in this class is so I can learn. But if they aren't putting any effort in, like definitely I could see why you get mad
Which
about
like
that.
If people wanted to learn, I mean, I can say this now that like. Now, if somebody wanted to learn, like I would help you and like show you the things that I watch to like learn myself, right?
Yeah.
At the time, it was like I'm sure people came up and asked me questions like trying to learn, and I was like, "Go away." Oh. I'm so sure that I did that.
It was just the Megadesk.
Yeah, and to anybody I did that to, I'm sorry, but I was 16, and so I left the program and ended up my senior year just doing like my own thing. And like I was really like spiteful at the time, so I was like, they're not going to do anything without me. And I'm sad that I was half right. I wish they would like looking back now, like I wish they would have humbled me a little sooner. But,
yeah.
But so I started watching Casey Neistat.
Yeah, dude.
On YouTube.
Yes. Yeah.
And I know you've heard of him. And so
I love Casey Neistat.
Casey Neistat like started this whole wave of vloggers on YouTube. And so my little like dorky 17-year-old self was like, that looks like fun. And so I took that same janky Canon Vixia and just like put it on a little like not even like a GorillaPod like we have over here, like a small one. Like for a point and shoot.
Yes,
like,
yes,
it, like
yes.
could not hold the weight of the camera. And so I threw it in my backpack every day, took it with me to school, and I called the series The Life of Dalton. And I just recorded myself going through day to day. I think I made like 97 episodes or something like that.
Jeez.
Yeah, it lasted for a while. And I had like a lot of fun doing that. Like even though most of my days were boring, it was wake up, go to school, come home, play video games, or go to marching band, and then come home and play more video games. Like that was. And some days like you do things to go out of your way to like have
to have some kind of content.
Yeah. So otherwise it gets stagnant and stuff. But I started doing that and I had a lot of fun with that. But by the time it got to that point, I feel like looking back now, that was like the best choice I could have made to show my parents that I wasn't just upstairs playing video games all the time. I was like constantly working on stuff because I would try to have a new video out every day or every other day. Like there was a span of probably 1 full month that I may have missed 1 day of posting. Wow. And it was like, say it's a Monday, right? I would film all day Monday, edit it Monday night before I went to bed, and I would end up going to bed at like 3 a.m, and then post it or schedule it to post first thing Tuesday morning. Yeah. And then start the cycle over again. So it was like a whole month with virtually no sleep and just creating and filming, editing all day, every day.
Wow.
And I think that was whenever my parents finally started to see like my drive and how much I really like this stuff.
Yeah.
So then came to college. I came to UT. I didn't want to go to college originally because I loved Quentin Tarantino, and I read like all about how he was like he didn't go to film school. He just worked in a video store, and like that was his film school. Yeah, and I was like, we have Netflix. I could sit at home, watch Netflix, and that could be my film school.
I am at school, Mom.
Yeah, literally, right. And at some point, I think I just something clicked that I was like, I don't know that I can do this. And on that same day, I got this like big orange email from UTK, and I ended up looking into like the journalism and electronic media program and the relatively new at the time cinema studies program. Okay. And it just so happened that my favorite football player of all time, Peyton Manning, was a journalism and electronic media major back in the day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. In the communications building, there's the Peyton Manning classroom.
Yes.
I had one class in there. It was not a fun class.
Really?
But but so I ended up coming and touring at UT the weekend before Thanksgiving. And so the whole city in Knoxville is UT orange.
Yeah.
Because it's November in Knoxville, right?
Yeah,
and
time in Tennessee.
Yeah. And so my mom always says that like as soon as I stepped out of the car, she just knew like this is where I was going to end up.
Yeah.
And so ended up coming here, obviously, came to UT. Took journalism and electronic media as my main major for a semester. Very much so did not like it. And I honestly contemplated like moving or trying to transfer to a film school. Yeah. Like I remember there was a phone call I had with my mom behind Morrell Hall that I was like, I want to transfer to a film school. Like, I don't like this. Mm-hmm. She was like, just stick it out. If you want, switch your major to cinema studies. Like at least stick it out through the year and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And so I switched my major to cinema studies that next semester, started enjoying my classes. I met my girlfriend, Morgan, that I'm still together with now. And then just like really started to not so much so fall back in love with creation because I never really stopped creating, but I started to fall in love with like the medium more. Yes. And like the power of storytelling.
And appreciating it for like the action that it can cause and the impact it can really have as opposed to just like putting something out there and just that's cool.
Yeah. But so went through all of UT, graduated last November. I worked at the Cinebar which is like the big movie theater in the Westtown Mall in Knoxville. It has like a restaurant and stuff in it until like a week or two ago.
Yeah. And
started here the March after I graduated in March of 2021 and haven't looked back.
It's been off to the races.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Basically.
Well, it's funny because like you were talking about how you like had that drive and stuff with creating videos, and like you can tell you just really enjoy the medium. And I really, for me, like having worked with you now for since March, like I can see that drive in you. Like it's like you can tell you enjoy it, and then like it adds an extra layer of like people can tell if somebody just threw something together versus if they took their time and really put something into it. And I can tell that you do that, which is great.
I'm a firm believer that you can't do this job unless you love it.
No, yeah,
because it's hard. Like it's not hard in a sense of like how bartending was, where you're interacting with so many different kinds of people all the time, and it's just a constant like overload, right? Yeah. But with this, it's hard because you have to be meticulous.
Yes,
and it takes a long time,
and you have to be intentional too. Like there's so much like you have to be meticulously like intentional with it. So it's like light placement, just everything that goes into putting together something that looks good.
Yeah.
Like, and then in the editing process to where it comes together in a cohesive, straightforward way, especially how we do, it's not like we're out here making a lot of stuff for film festivals, which we may do in the future.
Yet.
But yeah. But, for brands, it's all about getting the message out there, getting it looking professional and getting it to match their brand presence.
Yeah.
And, it takes a lot of like attention to detail and a lot of like discipline to do that. So I'm glad that you have the love for it. And, for me, I kind of fell into it. Like my journey started, I've always been really interested in it. Mm-hmm. But I I went through school and like I was an orientation leader at UT and we were doing like our orientation leader training and, they have all the departments come in and like give a spiel about their department so that way they could come in, or so that way if a student asks us, we can kind of give them at least some idea.
Yeah.
And so one that came in was student media, and they were coming in and talking about like how they produce all these like, they give you the tools and like help you along the path of like creating stuff for the university and, all that. And something just clicked in my head. And it's weird because a lot of times everything that has happened I was talking to my wife about this yesterday, that is like meaningful in my life. Like God is just like taking me and just like, you gotta like just go do this. Like I can't tell you why something switches, but I just get to like this push. I got this push and I like followed them out of the room. Like another speaker was already coming in and I followed them out of the room. I was like, hey, what if I've been interested in vlogging, watching Casey Neistat and stuff like that. And I was like, and I was like, what do you think about like me? I would love to try to vlog or do something highlighting my experience as an orientation leader.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, that sounds awesome. And they're like, so yeah, this is like, let's set up a meeting or whatever. So I talked to them. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. So they gave me like this GoPro Hero. It was the first Hero with like the touch screen on the back.
Okay.
And it was
I think that's the 4. The Hero 4, yeah.
Yeah, and it was GoPro. They gave me like one of those stabilizers. And it's
Like the little, like the handheld Ronin S, like one of them.
correct.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
so it was
Okay.
nice, yeah. And they gave me a bunch of suction cups, a bunch of friction arms, and stuff like that for it. No mic, which was unfortunate. So
They
yeah.
gave you no mic.
no mic. So I had to use the
UT.
onboard mic. Yeah, so I had to use the
UT.
onboard mic, which is fine. But it's funny that you said like vlogging, like. Really, I would wager to bet like a lot of your tactical like skills. So like how to make a cut look right, how to make it not feel awkward, how to put together a sequence and stuff. I'm sure those skills were really honed while you're daily vlogging.
Oh, 100%.
Like because going in there, like I had never taken a video. I mean, like even unloading footage on my computer was like a task. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how basic I was. But then, through shout out to John Kennedy. He was the guy at Student Media. He's still there today. He really like took me in hand and was like, here's what you need to do. This is, and I would bring him like rough cuts and he would kind of critique me on it and do whatever. Yeah. And eventually, I did like a 7-part series on like orientation, and it was one of their I was looking at the numbers, and I haven't kept up recently, but like there for a hot minute, it was like one of their more viewed things.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was super cool, and it was just one of those like it just really honed me.
Where's it at? Is it like on the YouTube website?
It's still on the Daily Beacon YouTube channel.
Oh,
and then
cool.
so through that, so like everybody saw what I was doing with that, and then they wanted me like I took over the University of Tennessee's Snapchat for a day to do OL, like what is day in the life of the OL.
I may have seen
on
that.
the University of Tennessee Snapchat.
Yeah.
And then I took over the Daily Beacon Snapchat, and they gave me those Snapchat spectacles, which was
what's
so
that?
those are like sunglasses, and they have the camera inside the sunglasses. And
that's
so
cool.
and so you just tap it right here, and it'll start recording, and you do whatever. And so me and Turner, Turner, he's one of my buddies, and we met when we were OLs. Like we did like this fight scene, first person fight scene, like with those spectacles on for the Snapchat Beacon story, but it looked like real because the motion blur and stuff where it's like first person was sick. It was really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So things like that, one, it gave me the knowledge of like how to put a timeline together and stuff like that, and kind of how to tell a story. But then also too, I think the main thing was like confidence. Like it gave me the confidence to be like, okay, if I need to, I can create a video.
Yeah.
So that was really, really, really valuable. And that's kind of how I got like my feet wet in the media production side. And then
what were you editing with at the time? Like whenever you were putting those GoPro videos together?
I was on Premiere Pro.
You started with Premiere Pro.
So from the very start, and that's one thing that helped me with John was like he was like, yeah, just we're gonna start with Premiere and work our way through, and then it was around that time that I really started like I was like I want to start a business.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was like, there's the type of money you can make like working for a company, like, and then there's the type of money you can get by owning the company. And I was like, my personal goals, like to create a legacy for my family for generations to come, it more aligns with owning a company.
Yeah.
So then I was like looking at, I was just thinking like, I have no money really to like start a business with. So what can I start? And, media production was just one of those things. And I kind of just fell into one thing here or there.
It's like one of the most expensive companies to invest in.
But what's weird? Yeah. Well, you think on the surface level, but if you think of it like we were talking about before, like somebody experienced with the camera could take a crappy camera and make it look better than somebody that's inexperienced with a $10,000 camera.
Yeah.
I would even wager that somebody with a $10,000 camera wouldn't even be able to turn it on.
With no experience?
With no experience.
Yeah,
to get it,
probably
turn it on
not.
and to get it to save and to even get any kind of usable footage.
Yeah, probably not.
And so from there on out, I just started doing gigs here and there, and then I started just really looking at the marketplace, and I was like, these companies they pay for media, and they once they get their media, it's kind of already it's outdated.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
you get a big production company to come in and shoot in January for a March sale, and you don't get it until June.
Yeah, or say they do make it on time, but I'm sure they hit their deadlines, or say maybe probably wouldn't be in business, but like if they go in but from January to March with how fast everything moves, it's like like maybe the sales a little bit different or whatever, but like there's also a need like for consistent, like if you really want to build your brand, you can't just put out one commercial every quarter,
right?
Like
unless you're already big and established, like
correct
McDonald's.
But if you look at it though, like McDonald's is building their brand. I mean, they aren't putting out one commercial every quarter. They're putting out
like
100
3 at a time.
Yeah, exactly. And they're running it everywhere. And so how do we combat that as a smaller business, and how do I help local businesses achieve that same kind of like brand presence? And that's through consistent media production. So we partner with businesses. We look at what they want to highlight. We kind of have a system now that really works. Excuse me, really works. We have a system that really works. And so we'll come in and we'll film a month, 2 months worth of content at one time. We get it all looking really great. We work a month ahead. So when we're filming for that next month.
Yeah.
And then you can engage your clientele and potential clients on a consistent basis with high quality media. Because if I see somebody and they have like a sponsored video and it's like well put together, I'm like, okay, cool, they spent money on a sponsored video.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking and I follow somebody, or I'm interested, or maybe I don't even follow them yet, I'm going to click on their social media and I'm scrolling through their page and I'm like, holy moly, like they're putting out banger content like every week, twice a week.
Yeah, it almost looks like an influencer account.
Yeah, and they're like, how much are they spending on this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the cool thing is we're able to do it at a very affordable rate. And what's really been cool, that concept has really, is what took us through the first wave. And then now we're coming through this maturity of that business model as far as taking that same content, repurposing it, and implementing it into the sales process.
Yeah.
And so what we've started to do is we'll come in, so say a salon, right? For the salon, we look at we're wanting to really squeeze every moment that we have with the client in the salon. We want them to be engaged with the brand and building their engagement with the brand and building their trust in the brand. And so as soon as they walk in the door, they go to reception. They say, hey, I'm Rob. I'm here for a balayage. So, I think I would look great with it.
I think I would too.
So you go with the balayage. So we've been filming, series on, service highlights. So what is balayage? What is a face frame? What is a money piece, right? All different hairstyles. Okay. Service highlights, talking about what they are, what to expect, how to take care of it. And we've also been doing a series on their social media of meeting everybody in the company. So the stylist, who inspires me, I've been working here for this many years, I love this company because, and so those have all been put out on social media, but we also have other cuts that are a little bit quicker. They're captioned and everything like that. And we have it on a centralized data center to where it's on the iPad. And so the receptionist then sees, balayage with Dalton. They hand me this. Dalton's going to be your stylist. Okay, so first, I see you're having a balayage. Boom. Here's a video on the service you're going to be getting today. It's going to walk you through how long it's going to take, what to expect when you're done, how to take care of it. And as soon as that's done, I'm going to show you a video introducing you to the stylist that you're going to be working with today, so you guys can already start to get to know each other.
Yeah.
And so at that point, now it's not a wait time. Now they're not sitting in the waiting room anymore. It's an intentional time for the salon to be engaging their customer and building their brand presence with them.
Yeah.
And then they go to the stylist chair, and the stylist says, hey, okay, we're here for the balayage, whatever. So, a lot of stylists are trying to push and sell as much product as they can.
Right.
And, maybe this isn't going to work as well for the top earners because they already have a way to sell. Like, they know how to sell.
Right.
This is going to really even the game out for people who maybe aren't as strong in sales, because say they are doing a balayage and there's a special shampoo that they need to shampoo and conditioner combo that they need to use on a regular basis to make sure they maintain this balayage. So instead of the stylist having to go through a sales pitch with them, they say, hey, I see you're doing a balayage. It's an expensive procedure. I'm going to grab this iPad. So we have iPads up front. We have iPads on the floor. Here's this iPad. I'm going to show you a video on this, on the shampoo conditioner combo that's going to hold in your hair. It's going to show you how to use it, the benefits of using it. And I just sent a notification to the front desk. And so we built this into our interface on the stylist thing. Whenever they click that button, they're able to send a message to the front desk saying, hey, I'm showing this video to them. Have this product ready at the front desk for when they check out.
Yep.
And so the client is sitting there. They watch it. Like, okay, that's great. They go to leave, and the shampoo and product is already there at the front desk ready to check out.
Yep.
And then we have QR codes on every piece of
Every bottle. Yep.
In the salon. And that QR code, you say, whenever they're checking out, you say, okay, great. And whenever you're ready to use this, scan this QR code. It goes to a video showing you exactly how to use this and the benefits of keeping your color in.
Right.
And it on that same page, it'll prompt you to where you can reschedule your next appointment. So whenever you're getting low, you can either order it on that page or you can go ahead and reschedule your next appointment. You just pick it up while you're in here. And so we're bringing it full circle. And so you get them coming in, and then as they're coming out, you get them thinking about the next time they come back in. And every time they use that shampoo, every time they use that conditioner in between visits,
they're going to scan that QR code.
They're even if they don't scan it every single time, it's like they associate that as like your salon's product.
Yeah.
And so because the thing is like a lot of times you could probably buy the same thing from other places for wholesale or something and probably get it cheaper. I'm just assuming that's how you can do with everything else.
I'm sure for some things.
Yeah.
For some of the more like specific or like high quality brands, maybe not so much.
Yeah. But even that small fraction that happens, that combats that as well. And then but they're also thinking, okay, well next time, I'm starting to get low. Crap, I need to go get my hair redone too. So then they scan it and they go and schedule the next thing. And the cool thing is it's all about, like we say here, it's about turning your business into Disney World and not Six Flags. So you think about that and you take that versus a normal salon experience and it's totally different.
Yeah.
It is a clear difference walking into that salon versus this salon, that this is a more well thought out, a more polished, a more engaging experience with the customer.
Oh yeah.
And that is like, so it's been so awesome to see that like kind of progression happen through our clients' businesses and us being able to provide that to them. It's been so cool.
Yeah.
So cool to see.
Well, because right now you go into most places, you go in, you get your wait time is going to be 15 minutes and you either go out to your car for 15 minutes or you go and like sit in their waiting room and you get on their phone.
And then here's the thing. You may even be engaging with another salon on your phone.
Yeah.
If you're into it and you're doing research, you've probably followed multiple salons.
Yeah.
As opposed to, hey, before your stylist comes out, go ahead and watch these. And then it frees up your stylist too. Because if you think 5 to 10 minutes per appointment that it frees up your stylist, like you could go ahead and prep other things, getting ready for the next, you could really use, that's a lot of time compounding over 10 guests.
Yeah.
That's an hour,
Yeah.
If you have 10 minutes and then if it frees them up for 10 minutes for every 6 guests, that's an hour that you save. That's a whole nother treatment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's
that you can be working with another guest, or that you can be doing a whole bunch of stuff.
It's another guest you can fit in. And so that's been really, 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 really cool to see. And the cool thing is we're always evolving, always adding new features and stuff like that. And so, that's been really, really fun. I really enjoy that. So, I think now, you got anything else you want to talk about?
I'm good.
How long are we at now?
I have no idea. I hope the cameras are still going.
I know, me too. C200 looks like it. I'm worried about the 1DX though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those two cut off after half an hour.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up, I guess.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you guys for joining us for the first episode of the HMG podcast. I'm Rob.
And I'm Dalton.
And we'll see you guys next time.
I'll see ya.